So what we need to have is a coalition that continually gets bigger. As a citizenry, we've decided to pay attention to what goes on and how a legislature works and how those rules have made them subject to the influence of lobbyists that's outsized compared to the rest of us.
And it's these rules that prevent pieces of legislation to come up, right?
A lot of good legislation gets filed every year, but it never gets a hearing, dies on the floor, and therefore nobody ever has to vote on it. So as a constituent, you and I can't say whether our legislator really supported that thing we wanted or not. And it's changing these rules to make it so that everybody in every chamber is responsible if a bill dies and can be held responsible for that. That makes it so that these guys don't get divided. You have to understand right now, because if you file a bill and if you were to bring that to the floor, if that were let to come out there and we all had to vote on that, then all of a sudden the legislature would be able to tell both the lobbyists and his constituents how he saw it. If the lobbyist was going to take them to task for that, man, the guy who proposed that and seconded that bill, those guys are going to get primary challenged and hurt. But if instead the rules are changed so that, look, everybody is responsible when a bill dies, everybody is responsible when a bill passes, then they have to actually assault over half of the chamber to actually exert their will in there anymore. And they can't divide up the legislature and take them off one at a time, or I should say more accurately, threaten them one at a time. They actually have to threaten the entire chamber, and now that chamber sees, hey, the people of Indiana have actually learned how this legislature works. They have told me we're going to have your back instead of going for their flanks. And the legislature can get together and say, hey, we are going to change these rules because it protects all of us and our constituents at the same time from the influence of campaign cash. And so that's why we're trying to get together this coalition of groups to tell our legislators we are an informed electorate now. We understand how the rules work. We want them changed so that it works better for all of us. The only loser in this is the guy who has campaign cash to pay.
Now, Dan, you've got a website, right? You want to tell everybody how they can get on their website, your website?
FixMyLegislature.com. That's legislature.com. You can actually register there and send us your email, and when we do text and email blasts, we can actually send you text to use with your legislator to tell them, hey, we need these rules changed, and here's why we need it, and I support you if you do these changes.